I know you just pulled up to the bar, but we closed.
Come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We about to close.
So you mean to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man. I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty half my age at the crib, and I'm trying to get to it. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's alright. Don't even worry about it.
All right. Tell you what. I'm gonna get you one drink, cause it look like you need
one drink. I can do one drink. I can do one drink, cause I really yeah.
Hey man, anything man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
One of the things I want to brought to you by is what? Minecraft. Why I got to keep pushing this is because you guys got to understand, we talk about it. You got to find ways to fix things. That's what Minecraft does. So again, not just because he's sitting next to me, it's because this show needs somebody to give us inspiration through all the things we go through.
Yes.
So let's talk to the author of Minecraft.
What's happening, Jay?
What's happening? Hey, didn't somebody just have a birthday?
Yeah. Just,
Okay.
Yeah, just had a birthday.
All right.
Celebrated 57.
All right.
And now I'm on the downhill to 60.
You're getting closer, but it's okay. You look good, though. You look good for age, my brother.
Thank you, bro. And of course, as well, I just authored my new book, Activate Your Mind.
Yes.
And obviously, it's my life's work, but it's just about helping people get their mind focused.
All right.
You know, no matter what you're going through, you have to focus on the state of your mind first. If you don't focus on the state of your mind, everything else is, secondary. Right? If you need to solve a problem, if you need to heal something, if you need productivity, if you need favor, if you need a miracle, you got to activate your mind in these areas in order to reveal, in order to heal the answers. I'm a big believer that any question that you ask, there is a true answer to, but you'll never get to the true answer until you ask enough. And so if you need answers and solutions in your life, then you need to be asking for answers and solutions. Our thoughts create our reality, and our word becomes the flesh. And so if you speak it, that answers are being revealed, then answers will be revealed. The universe will not deny you. God will not deny you. It will follow the lay of your spoken word, the lay of your mindset. So activate your mind is a tool. It's a mental toolbox so that you can go and find answers to the things that you may be dealing with in life. Sometimes we just want to feel better. Right?
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah. Sometimes we want to improve our relationships. Sometimes we want to see ourselves transformed. Sometimes we want a miracle in our life. Sometimes we need emotional healing. But sometimes we need to have a victory attitude.
Ooh, I'm winning.
Right?
I like that.
We should live life with a victory attitude. Every day you should have at the forefront of your mind victory.
Yes.
I'm winning. I'm going to achieve my goal. I'm going to get over this hump. I'm going to get over this hurdle. We should live with that state of mind. And we've never been taught that state of mind. And so adopting it sometimes later in life can be very difficult to do. But activate your mind is one of those tools, right? It's one of those tools that'll elevate your mindset. And by elevating your mind, you will elevate your reality. Right. And I'm talking about many times miraculous things taking place because we know how the law of mind works. We know that our thoughts create our reality. We just don't exactly know how it does what it does. Right. But the process is simply that if I want healing, I have to speak healing over myself and I have to speak healing over my life. And many people are going to receive this work as a very positive way to look at things. Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. It is a very positive way to look at things. But for those who really understand the core message, you're going to see that you can create something out of nothing through your thoughts, your imagination, and your spoken word. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And when you speak life, life reveals itself.
Mm.
That's how humanity works. That's the system that God put into place. And we need to learn how to interact with the universe, how to interact with God's measure. This really is a statement that puts us in the true dominion of life, right? We should be able to move our realities, right? We don't have to always wait on God to come and do something supernatural. He's following our lead every time we speak a rhema word. His system produces that which we speak, and we speak life and speak positivity. We get life and positivity, but we speak hell and damnation. We get hell and damnation, and that's the world that we're living in. So it's important that we learn how to think. We learn how to think about ourselves. We learn how to think about our emotions, and ultimately, it's about positioning yourself in your mind. So when you're dealing with trouble, what you have to do is you got to shift. You got to shift a portion of your mind that says this trouble is not going to take me down. In fact, I'm going to be victorious over this trouble. And trouble, I declare that you are now being diminished, that solutions and answers are removing every sense of trouble. I'm building in confidence because I'm believing that this trouble is now beneath my feet. It can no longer hold me back. Now, that's an extreme way to think for some people, right? We have a lot of pessimistic mindsets, people who they always think the glass is half empty. They always think down. They always think about the worst possible outcomes. But those people are continuing to manifest their own realities sometimes. We have to live with a mindset of faith. We have to live from the high watch. We have to live from the top of our ideals. That's how the world works. And the sooner you get it and the more thoroughly you use it, you will begin impacting your life in ways unlike never before. And so I want to thank you, Jay, for giving me an opportunity to introduce it.
Always, my brother, always.
Get your copy, Activate Your Mind. My name is Stacy Craft, C-R-A-F-T. You can find me on Amazon. I'm all over the world now. We're on just every major platform almost under the sun. So you can buy me in Japan or the Netherlands or Germany, Australia.
All of them need positivity.
All of us need positivity. If you are walking this earth and you are breathing, you need positivity.
Yes.
And so I encourage you to get it. $17.99, and I think it's going to be something that'll nurture you. It'll nurture your family members. Think about it potentially as a Christmas gift, a stocking stuffer for some of your family members. A great way to give them some mental tools to get life done.
Yes, and I even throw one pledge out there. For anybody to know me that ordered a book, if you're able to get their book to me, I'll get it signed by Craft. If it takes too long, I promise you, I'll give another book back off of me.
Yeah.
Not off of me, because I want you to give it to somebody for it to be a positive thing. It's time for us to give back. Don't let the government shut down food you. Okay, things is going to happen. This book will bring you a positive scope because some people are negative.
Yes.
We got to stay positive, and I want y'all to keep it upbeat because it's going to get a little rough.
Yeah.
And you need some positivity to get you through.
And we're going to introduce ourselves, but let me just give you an example, Jay, of how I use this Activate Your Mind approach to our economy. I do not live by man's economy anymore. I live by a spiritual economy that continues to fill all of my vats to overflowing. That I'm never without, I'm never missing, and no policy, no discussion they have, no tactic that they use is going to hinder me from ever being anything but prosperous in my life. I prophesy over my life because I desire it, I deserve it, and I believe that this word shall return unto me unvoid, that it shall return to me full with the measure that I speak it. And so I'm not afraid of the economy. I'm not afraid of all of these worldly ideas. I know that I live in a spiritual atmosphere that constantly responds to my greatest needs, and my needs are always fulfilled. Can you hear the power that's coming through there, Jay?
It sounds like a prayer to me.
It sounds just like a prayer. And in many cases, I'm teaching you kind of how to pray within your heart. But ultimately, I'm teaching you how to change your mind so that you can align with the truth. The truth is there's more than enough for you to be happy and prosperous.
Come on.
You just have to align with it and believe it so that it can open the doors of your spirit and shower you with goodness. And if you would just get a glimpse of this message that I'm sharing with you, it's one of the oldest and I think richest ideas ever in the history of mankind, that man can shift his reality by shifting his mind. It's real. You can prove it to yourself. And I would encourage you to become students of this consciousness stuff. If you can attract money without doing anything but having a money mindset, you should be seeking for that. You should be seeking that. We call that favor where I come from, but the universe will flow directly in proportion to your own consciousness. Poor people are oftentimes thinking that they don't have enough. They get the reality of not having enough. But if we can give them inner strength and inner scope to think high, to think prosperity thoughts, to think about having more than enough, to think about being alive and thriving and not just surviving, then they'll begin to move in that direction. The reality of their life will begin to move in that direction. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves.
All right, let's do it. I mean,
this is Bar Talk with Jay.
Yes.
My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
In the building.
And we want to thank you folks for being here with us tonight. Of course, this is just our opportunity to be leaders here in our own communities and to really try to inspire beyond the surface. Jay's vision is basically that the first time you sit down and you're having a drink, you get a couple of sips into your drink and you start to mellow out and you start to open up and you start to share what's really going on in the background. Sometimes you start to just talk about what's hurting you or what the problem is. And we're going to do exactly that tonight. We're going to dive into a subject and we're going to try to find some gravy in that subject. We're going to try to find some stuff that we can hold on to, some things we can hang our hat on, some things that can motivate us tomorrow and the next day and the next day. That's what this show is about, extreme motivation. So we're so glad that you're with us tonight. Tonight's topic is it wrong to pour more into self than your partner? Is it wrong to pour more into yourself than your partner?
Ooh, how it is.
That's gonna be good. Somebody gonna grow off of this one, right?
Oh, somebody going down tonight.
Of course, we start the show off with a prayer.
Yeah, we're gonna need it.
And let's hand it over to the Lord. Heavenly Father, we come into this place now just to thank you for all that you are in our life. We thank you for your strength and your power. We thank you for your love. We thank you that you are our way maker. We thank you that you see to it that the righteousness can never be forsaken. We ask, Heavenly Father, that you will be here with us in this show tonight and help us deal with the subject at hand, Lord. Is it wrong to pour more into yourself than your partner? When is it the right time to pour more into self than your partner? When is it the wrong time to pour more into ourselves than our partner? Give us, Lord, an understanding and a wisdom and a way to deal with our relationships so that we can have a balanced of pouring into one another. Show us, Lord, how not to be taken advantage of. Show us how not to give up our power. Show us, Lord, how to receive and to give equally. Guide our hearts and our minds, Lord, on the subject of giving and pouring into others. Be here with us, speak through us, do your good and perfect work. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Woo! Oh, you touched me on that one. Woo! I needed it. That gave me a lead into how I'm gonna go with that one.
Okay, what you got?
I like to say at one time, I'm not for sure which one I did as much until I had to go through a lot. And I had to pour back into me. I felt I gave so much. So I guess I was more of an overly giver. So I've been used and abused like anybody else might have went through some things. And I felt like I did so much for so many people and it wasn't coming back. And while I was hurt through these emotions, I also was getting healed. Because no matter what I did, the Heavenly Father told me I am so much more than what I was thinking.
Okay.
I was being simple-minded to the things that I was giving and doing compared to how he gave me health and wealth. He put me in a position I was able to do it. And I looked at what other people wasn't recognizing, but I forgot what he gave me.
Right.
He gave me the power to be able to do it for his glory. I was looking for my own.
Mm.
And in that, and again, no shame in no one. I'm only speaking on my own testimony, my own problems, is because when I stopped looking at them for recommendations and accommodations and looking for them for approvals, and I had to go back to him. I ain't doing this for them. I'm doing this for his glory, for he can recognize my heart, for he can understand why he walks with me and why I walk with him, why we walk together. So as I start realizing that, I pour into me for I can have more to pour into others. I stop being empty. I start being rejoiceful and full. And then when I start doing things, I start reserving some of the things I was doing, because now I have a better understanding why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it to just please you. So now if I get with somebody and if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I do pour extra into them because I have so much to give. And then when it's the right person, it seems to be received and given back in so many different ways of recognition and understanding of me, where now we're moving in sync, more in harmony. Well, there are certain things that when we talk about, it's more understood than just the talk. Because now she understands me, she feels me, she wants to hear from me, you know? So now she speaks of the things that we talk about behind me than the things that I wonder about. Because now I'm pouring in a position that's different than where I started. It was more pleasing. I was a pleaser. I was that person who wanted to see you smile. I wanted to see you happy. I was a jokester. I wanted to make you laugh. I wanted to buy things to make you smile. Okay. These things are pouring out. And then when they ain't received correctly or in the way I thought they should come back, now I'm frustrated, right? Now I'm more confused. Like, why are you acting this way? And I showed you a goodness. Okay, well, that goodness was just mislooked at because it was other things that went along with it. It shouldn't have had other things. You know, I'm conditioning this to expectation of how they should be instead of just doing this for me. I'm doing this out of the kind act. I do remember one time I was dating somebody. They said, "You don't really have a romantic bone in your body," and I took it to heart a little bit and said, "Romantic bone." Well, you want me to be romantic in a way somebody else shows you compared to the way I'm showing you.
Right.
You know, but yet when something was happening, I made the fire and I made sure it was warm. Now you feeling the warmth and passion of what I can give.
Right.
Now it wasn't romantic compared to the flowers that somebody else gave you and other things that somebody else did that I shouldn't be compared to. That's not me. And why are you comparing? Because that's what you used to. So why don't you learn me? And that's another issue that a lot of people have in that whole equation of pouring in and out is when you don't feel appreciated. Well, you might be doing things for the wrong reason. And then you need to check yourself a little bit, because I feel like watch what you do sometimes, because you could be overly doing to please someone because they told you what to do.
Yeah, but that not feeling appreciated thing may not be coming from you. Because you may be doing some things that are worthy of appreciation,
Right.
But you're not getting
Appreciation
the love back, right?
Correct.
You're not even feeling like it's being received properly. And you know,
I agree with that.
we're talking about, is it wrong to pour more into self than your partner?
Mhm.
If you are constantly pouring into anyone and they don't recognize it, it's really hard to keep pouring in.
Right.
Anybody, a spouse, an employer, a girlfriend, a friend, right? Because it can never be just going one way, one direction. The love pattern can't just be going out and never be coming back.
Mhm.
Like we always used to think of it as a bank, that once the bank is empty, if somebody else isn't filling up the bank is empty.
Bank's closed.
The bank's closed, right? The bank's closed. So there comes a place where giving can hurt. And I think there comes a place where giving is supposed to hurt.
Mhm.
But I follow the old adage that patience is a virtue, but you'd have to be a fool to wait forever. Right?
There's so many dreams in the graveyard.
That you can give and you can give and you can pour into somebody, And at a certain point, you stop expecting it. And the relationship really has been tainted because you're expecting something back, right? And oftentimes we're not necessarily needing stuff. We're needing acts of love. I need you to show me that you care about me as much as I care about you. I need you to show me that you're as trustworthy because because the way I try to be trustworthy with you. Like I need some responsiveness. I need a heartfelt thank you. I need I really appreciate that. I know you went out of your way. You must have been planning this for months. It's impossible for you to do this for me. You must have been planning for months. I am so grateful that you even thought about me in this way. You know what? You spent a lot of money on me last week. You know what I'm saying? And this can be early in the date, or this could be a wife of 20 years. But you put out a lot for me, and I'm so grateful. I believe that the words of love is the greatest inspiration of love. And there are many acts that you can do. You can buy things for stuff and cook meals, and you can do stuff for them, favors or tasks, or you can support them in certain ways. But when you tell somebody how much you care, that really goes a long way. And that sometimes that's not words, that might be your cards. Sometimes that might be I had an ex one time who she obviously didn't make as much money as I did. So it was time to go out, and she even recommended sometime, let's go out, let's do this, right? And she knew no matter what she recommended, I got it. Right. But boy, the next 2 or 3 days, she would fix one of them big grandma meals. She'd send me to lunch with it at work. She'd have it heated up whenever I got to the crib at night. You know what I'm saying? She'll buy my favorite snacks, and I don't even do a lot of snacking, you know what I'm saying? But all of those things were acts and ways for her to show that she appreciated what I did for her. Right? And she would even tell me, she was like, you've been spending money for 3 days. I'm gonna do my part now. You know what I'm saying? You've been on the go for, you've been doing this and doing that. Now it's my turn. Chill, right? You've been buying all the dinners. Tonight I want to treat you. Boy, there's nothing greater than the reciprocity of a good relationship. I don't know if it's a friendship or it's a spouse, but when I'm giving to you and you giving to me, there's absolutely nothing greater, right?
I totally agree.
There's some factors in this equation that I think we need to talk about.
Okay,
right?
Now.
One of the factors is, you said it first, Jay, I went through a lot. So people are hurting. They're hurting by their past. They're hurting by what they went through. And sometimes they don't have the ability to see or understand the kind of love that you're giving. Right? You just picture a man or a woman who you're with who've been through a lot, and they've changed to a certain degree. They've gotten, maybe they've gotten a little bland, or maybe they're just not as willing to commit, or any number of things. They've been through something.
Right.
And they might have a process. I know I do. I have a process of vetting a little deeper in every relationship. Okay. Right? I vet deeper now than I did 10 years ago. I vet deeper now than I did 20 years ago. Okay. Right? Because I've realized that life is constantly bringing nonsense into our sphere of influence. And so as much as these have been great people who have been in my life, that they were there for a season and a reason. And some of the nonsense that I was experiencing with them was not meant for me to live with forever. And so, when it comes to pouring into them, I pour in as much as I think I can. And when I can't, when I'm not making a difference, or when I don't think I can pour in anymore, I stop pouring in, right? I don't play games with the subject. I stop pouring in, right? It's like somebody who borrows money from you and they never pay you back, and they keep asking you for money, and you're enabling them. And so why are you doing that? I'm not going to pour into somebody who's not willing to help themselves. They keep making the same mistakes.
Right.
They keep acting like they don't owe me money.
Right.
They keep acting like, they can't see the forest for the trees,
You're part of the handicap.
Yeah. So I'm not going to continue to be treated the same way over and over and over and over.
Definitely.
Right. So what people go through will make a difference as to whether you should pour more into them or pour less into them. Right. You got so many of them, Jay. Just you said things like you gave and it didn't come back. What others receive. Sometimes you give in love and people don't know how to receive it. They've never been loved like that before. They don't know how to embrace it. And you may be looking for some kind of response in your giving, right? And by the way, we probably should cover this.
What's that?
Giving should be pure. It should be pure. It should not be tainted. It should not be filled with expectations of receiving back. It should be honorable, and it should not be tainted.
You hit that on the nail. No, somebody said something to me, and it hit when you said that, because I pretty much buy everything for myself, because I do believe in pouring into me, right? So there's a lot of things I do to feed myself. That way I can feed others, right? So as I go through life, and you see me, and I always love when somebody listens, because that's how I get good gifts, because I listen to what a person is saying to me, and I start saying, okay, they need this, and I start getting the things that they're saying, right? Mm-hmm. Well, they try to do me the same way, but I got some attention brought to me is they bought a very cheap gift, but it was Ohio State, and they seen how I was very responsive to that Ohio State.
Yeah.
Now, to
it
anybody that knows,
it was something that they knew
Ohio State is the thing, and
that's thoughtful.
That Ohio State means a lot, because that's one of my teams.
That's
and
thoughtful.
Again, everybody in the NFL, I was in college, and in Akron, Ohio State was my team. So for them to do that, it showed that they put a thought in the things that I like to invest in. And they was like, out of all the stuff I got, and out of all the expensive stuff, you went to one of the cheapest gifts I bought you. And I said, because see, it's not always about money. And I spend a lot of money on a lot of things, but please understand, I'm so receptive of the small things just because I feel so blessed.
Let me tell you, that's a beautiful story, because pouring into others, what I think it means, it doesn't mean giving them what you want to give them. It means giving them what you think they want.
Correct.
Right? Well, why would you give somebody something? I mean, it's okay and broaden other people's horizons. You know what I mean? And maybe showing them something that they've never seen before.
Hold on.
Give them what they want.
Let's make something very clear to the women at Christmas time and birthday. Don't bring me no Kmart Axe. Don't bring me no cheap cologne that costs $9. Listen, if you know you're around me, I put on expensive cologne. Don't buy some cheap stuff and hand it to me and think you're doing me a favor.
Yeah. and that what that really means, be thoughtful. And it's not.
Thank you.
Yeah, that doesn't mean spend money, right?
No, but
that
don't
means
don't spend cheapness.
What I like.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
You know I don't smell like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I knew to do something.
What I like, what I would use, what I would want, and thinking about others' needs is pouring into them, right? That's pouring into them. She gave her several gifts, but the one he gravitated to was that Ohio State, because she know Ohio State is close to his heart. And she could have bought him a T-shirt and a hat with Ohio State, and that's all she would have needed to do, because it says that you've been paying attention to the things that I really like. And here you are showing up with more of the things that I really like.
Come on.
There's nothing more beautiful than that, right? Let me ask you a question, Jay. We're down to about the last 8-9 minutes.
All right. What's the question?
How much money do you pour into your significant other or spouse?
Well,
let's talk about money as it relates to pouring into other people.
It like this. When it comes to a person that's close to my heart, and somebody I really see a future with.
Okay.
I can't say amount.
There is no amount, because they are priceless.
There you go. Because of what they bring and who they are, I'm willing to go to the ends of the world. You know, when somebody understands, when I protect and I believe in giving my life, that's more valuable than anything. Okay, I believe in health and wealth, right? So I believe in staying healthy, but yet I'm willing to die, you know, and honor this person and put life in. I mean, again, I don't run into a bullet. I'm not looking for that. But to protect, I am willing to give up a whole lot, and that's wealth. And a lot of people, dollar amount. Hell, how much you think I can bring? You know, I think I'm worth a lot. Not just in material things, a lot to bring. The saddest thing to me is no one knows they're full of ideas. People pay for that. You know, they patent it and they make a lot of money off these damn ideas that you never bring sometimes to the table. So don't look at your wealth as this because of the shit you have around you. You have a wealth of knowledge that you can put in the right content. You are worth way more than what somebody might think you are. You just never got a chance to get the process all the way out.
How much money?
Now,
Let's get to so you meet a new lady.
Okay.
Y'all feeling and vibing each other.
Okay.
How does the money work? You know, when do you think that it's time to stop pouring into that person?
When I see very little coming back. Now, when I say that, is I can throw a lot out, and that's not her fault because I'm not always looking for somebody to match what I do.
Right.
But when I notice they're non-appreciative, and then what they squander and do. Okay. Now.
Yeah, they squander and go hard in the paint for themselves,
but no one else.
But when they're around you,
oh well, you got it.
Yeah.
You're the man.
Yeah.
So now it's not just it's disrespectful in some of the ways. You know, if I say let's do something for my mother, there's another person that I love, right? And you come with some real weak ideas or some real cheap stuff, knowing that we try to go hard for the ones we love. Now, when it comes to your people, oh, it's like my pockets is endless. But when it comes to certain things on my side, now all of a sudden you putting limits when you ain't really putting in. So now I'm starting to see things are shifting. Yes, I'm going to pay attention because my whole thing is listening and paying attention is the future to whoever you're going to be with.
Listening and paying attention. And what are you paying attention to? What should we be paying attention to? We're paying attention if this person is selfish.
Mm-hmm.
We're paying attention to this person. Do they really value what you're doing? Or are they just in it for the ride? Now, men who are infamous for spending money on women they are interested in and wanting to date have to make a decision at a certain point if a woman's genuine about her relationship or friendship with him. And then he's going to have to say, oh, no, she's not serious. She only calls me when she want to go out. She don't call me to talk. She don't call me to go to her family picnic. She don't call me to invite me to be with her friends. She only called me when she want to go out. And going out usually means I'm going to spend a couple $100 on a night and, you know, show her a good time. So
Right.
Probably, as much as I like her, probably time to stop pouring in.
I agree.
Right? Now, we know that even in long-term relationships, spousal relationships, that sometimes, especially when it comes to money, that it can be a really funny thing amongst a couple. I've met numerous couples whose one spouse would not co-sign for the other spouse to buy a car. Or, you know, they were afraid that that person wouldn't do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's another note.
Oh, give it to me.
I cannot pour into people who will not do the right thing.
Yeah.
You're pouring into an empty vessel. You're enabling really just a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Because as much as they may appreciate it early in the game, they're probably not going to pay you back, and they're probably not going to do the right thing with what you give them. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So those people who might take your gifts for granted, you have to stop pouring into them. It's not that you want to, but you are ultimately putting yourself in a position to be taken advantage of. And there's a lot of takers in the world. We have to be mindful and we have to be aggressively protective protect ourselves from takers, because they will take over and over and over. There's no end to a taker's taking, right?
I terribly got to admit that there's been some things that happened to me that I learned from, right?
Right.
Now, one of them I can tell you is, if a person is starting to overspend, it's a conversation that need to be had. Because instead of just getting on them, we might need to set some boundaries. All right. That way I don't get upset. So let's do this amount if we do certain things. All right. I think a lot of things lead back to conversation, not about just controlling. It's about having a better understanding. Because if you understand how I'm looking at it compared to you, it's less arguments. One of the key things I hear on social media, if you and your girlfriends want to have a little shindig, kick it party, I really like to be the person having a conversation with you. Like, what are we looking at? You know, is it something you going out with them? Am I paying for it? What's going to happen? I feel like the rudest thing is you to make some things happen, get your girls together, and expect me to pay, and I have no knowledge of it because of the kind, giving person that I am.
That's a person who totally takes you for granted.
Totally, because it could have been an easy conversation. I got a couple girls. We want to do some things. I'm kind of short, and I ain't got really. So you think you can give me some money, and we're gonna do this and that? It's a conversation, and me and her having nobody else is involved, and I can set the terms. It's very embarrassing to get them together, for I can have to hear their opinion of what I'm about to say, because at this point, I'm not really worried about their feelings at all. Because I really feel like this is starting to be very rude, because I shouldn't be talking in front of them about something that I'm feeling that I want to do something special for you, not everyone else.
Great point to make. You cannot pour into people who make you feel like crap. Pouring into somebody who hurts your feelings, who talks down about you, or talks behind your back, or doesn't support you, if they make you feel bad, they're probably not treating you right.
Yeah, well, definitely in front of somebody else.
They're probably not treating you right. And so we are not talking here about agape love.
I like that.
We're not talking here about loving a person beyond their faults and loving a person. We're not talking about those who are in need. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about those who may not be able to do for themselves, and you lend them a hand, because sometimes we all of us givers find ourselves in a place where we're giving something that we know we shouldn't give, but we're giving it from our heart. Mm-hmm. We're giving it even though it might hurt. I know I have given money away. I've let people borrow money knowing that now I might have to be real tight because of what I lent them or because of what I gave them. But that was from my heart. That's agape love. That no matter how much it might hurt me, I'm still going to try to help. I'm still going to try to support. We're not talking about that. We are talking about the kind of love where we always say, is love enough? And it is not enough. You cannot just love me. You have to show and prove your love. Like that old saying, every day I got to prove my love. Right? Because that is the kind of world we live in. We have to keep showing up. We have to keep showing up in earnest and in wholeness for the people around us. And when we don't show up in earnest and wholeness, they can see it. They can see that you're trying to get over, you're trying to take advantage, you're not willing to support. Again, people who are prosperous have met people who are so genuine about receiving the gifts that you have to give. And when you meet those people, they can't do this stuff for themselves, but you are so enriched by their joy when you give them stuff, right? I mean, how many times that you done made it, kind of out of the woods of life, and you go back to your hometown, you see your type boy. What's your first thing you do? You want to take him to get a fat meal, right? Buy him a drink. You know what I'm saying? If y'all out shopping, you be like, man, I'm gonna get you one of them jerseys, man. Get you a jersey. You love up on them.
Spread some love.
You spread some love, and you're pouring in from your heart, right? But when it comes to a relationship, pouring has to be two ways. I pour into you, and you pour into me. Right. And I have to say this just as we close here. We're down to the last 2 minutes here.
All right. I got one too.
Sometimes you're in a relationship with someone who just doesn't move your spirit anymore.
Ooh. Oh, you went deeper.
And they didn't do anything wrong. Mm-hmm. They just ain't. They don't light your fire no more.
They ain't the one.
They ain't the one. Right. And so you've got to find some ways to start sending the message, and you've got to start finding some ways to settle down your giving and your pouring
Okay.
because you're misleading.
Okay.
Right?
I agree with that.
You're misleading, and it's not righteous to mislead, especially if you're getting fringe benefits like that good loving.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to leave just because of the good. She ain't really doing nothing for my head or my heart.
Right.
She a nice girl, but I can't leave that good loving.
Right.
You know? That's wrong.
It
and,
is.
and I would encourage you not to live that life and not to be acting in that way.
And I'm gonna give you one that happened on my way to you. When I got off work and I'm in traffic. I got cars all around me, and I'm just trying to make it home so we can get the show going. And I heard an accident, and I'm hearing it from behind me. I'm hearing the screeching, and the car comes flying up the wrong way and comes to a stop. Now, a lot of people that know me, I got strobes, I got everything to keep you safe. Now, before I even turn anything on, this man is jumping out of the car, acting erratic. I can't tell you he's drunk, on drugs, I don't know. But his behavior made me make a split decision that I'm going to mind my business.
I'm going to mind my business.
I didn't see the accident happen. I didn't see anybody injured. I seen somebody irate, jumping around and acting real different, where I don't feel like I need to put my ass at risk.
Right.
When I see somebody else doing stuff. Because a lot of times we don't mind our business. And a lot of people like we have to care for others. Sometimes you got to care enough to mind your business.
Sometimes you got to care enough to mind your business.
I'll be more than happy to call the police to make sure whatever just happened gets handled. But everybody can't run to a situation and expect the best because this man could have did anything. Well, as I'm driving off, I'm still watching him on the other side of traffic, stopping people and acting belligerent. Now, again, I'm a gun carrier permit, concealed, and Georgia's open carry. I ain't trying to hurt nobody, and I ain't trying to do nothing more to get home to stay a protector of what's for me and mine. And a lot of times we jump out here and we do too much.
Sometimes we do too much. Sometimes we pour in where we should just have left it alone. And I think that's a word to the wise man that this is a different world that we live in.
Yes.
And getting involved in other people's affairs or in nonsense, even people who might express some form of road rage to you, just let it go. Just let it go and don't be shooting birds and blowing horns and trying to pull in front of people and acting bad, looking at them all in the rearview mirror. Like sometimes you don't know what you're dealing with. Right. And so sometimes you might just need to move on and not pour any energy into that nonsense, right? Mm-hmm. The question for tonight as we close, is it wrong to pour more into self than your partner? It's never wrong to pour more into self than your partner if your partner isn't recognizing, if your partner isn't responding, if your partner isn't trying to give back to you. You're only protecting yourself because you see that you're being taken advantage of or have the potential of being taken advantage of. And I think that's the only reason to not pour. You cannot pour into empty vessels, and you cannot pour into people who are running game and trying to take advantage of you. You pour into your heart. You pour in with your heart by offering and giving help where you know it's going to be well served and it's going to be taken to heart as well. Okay. And so I think it's been a great subject. It's just about time for us to close on it.
Yes, it is.
So let's do it this way. This has been Bar Talk with Jay.
Yes.
My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
Yes.
And we want to thank you for being here with us tonight. We're here every Thursday from 7 to 8 Facebook Live. Mm-hmm. And come back, like, share, subscribe with the show. We hope you got something meaningful out of it. We hope that it has touched your heart. Send it to your friends and family. And never, ever forget that we do this because we love you and we appreciate you. And with that, we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk.